Hey, welcome to the Best Bet Show. I'm Daniel Sneed, the creator and founder of Best Bet Skills Academy. And today we have a really awesome show. We're sitting down with Bre White, a senior at Young Women's College Prep Charter School. And we also have the privilege of sitting down with Rich Ide, the owner and vice president of Ide Family of Dealerships. So here in Rochester, New York, they own two dealerships, right?
Yeah,
Ide Honda
and Ide Volkswagen.
and Ide Volkswagen, absolutely. So really excited because just the way this story came to be is really incredible. So one of the things I like to do at Best Bet is I like to find students that I feel like, should get scholarships. And so Rich and I actually initially connected at my daughter's field trip because was it 2 years ago or last year they were in the same class?
Our kids are in the same class.
Yep, yep. So we connected at a field trip, and I was telling them a little bit about Best Bet. And so what was really cool is before even this happened, one of my students was looking to get into the car business, a young man named Juan Martinez. And so we ended up connecting Juan with the dealership and the GM there. And Juan is actually doing a great job there. Matter of fact, why don't you share a little bit just about like your experience with Juan and how that's been so far?
Oh yeah, no, we connected and Juan came to us. We started him out, made him work his way up. We started him as a lot boy, and he was great. He had a lot of drive. He showed everybody that he was willing to work hard and hustle. You could definitely tell a lot of your values and lessons he was
applying
to the job. And then we promoted him to a salesperson, and he's been doing fantastic. I mean, that was his path. He put in the time, he earned it, and now he's on our sales floor, and he's really enjoying it, and he's very good at it. I mean, obviously, there's a lot to learn with the real life experience, but he was very well equipped and ready. Coming at such a young age, it's impressive to see that kind of drive.
Right. No, so we kind of connected through that, and then as I was going, so like this year, I've got to go because I had a certain number of scholarships that I wanted to provide. So I got a meeting with Rich, and so I said, Rich, you've got to see firsthand the fruit of Best Bet Skills Academy and what it is and the potential that it can help to create in young people. And so we talked for a little bit, and he was like, you know what, let me think about it, let me ponder on it. And then I got the text that said, hey, I'm going to connect you with Rhonda.
Yeah.
And so Rhonda's off camera, but she's the marketing director at Ide Family of Dealerships. And so me and Rhonda, we had lunch for like 4.5 hours and had the greatest time ever. And we came up with, the fact that they wanted to scholarship a couple kids. And so what was really neat is that I already had a student that was scholarshiped at UPrep. And so I wanted to get a young lady in on the scholarship. And so I called a connect of mine and said, hey, who do you know at the Young Women's College Prep Charter School? Because I want to see if there's a good fit there. And so what ended up happening is it was really cool because I was talking to Mrs. Sparkman, shout out to Miss Sparkman, and I described to her what we were looking for Best Bet. And literally, like without hesitation, she said, I got a student for you. I got one for you. And I was like, okay, let's set up an interview. She said, I can go get her right now. And so from there, that's when we met. So if you wouldn't mind, just, share your experience, just from that initial phone call, and then just talk about, your experience, in the course up until now.
Yeah. After that phone call, that was literally the best day of my life because I did not know what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to start a business. I know I didn't want to work for anybody. I know I wanted to be my own boss. But after that phone call, it was just like I felt like my whole life changed, which it did because even Dan said when we was on the phone call last night that I seemed like a whole different person. And after that phone call, I just been trying to work on, before I would go, I was trying to work with businesses, not businesses. I was trying to start a business that I would watch YouTube videos and I would see what other people were doing and the businesses they were doing. And I would try to do it like Shopify, selling products online and stuff like that. And it wasn't really working out for me, like Amazon FBA. That's when I started thinking like maybe I need to sell like my actual own personal product or something that everyone else isn't selling. And then I just got into other stuff, like I was telling last night about mobile detailing, where me and my cousin were gonna work together. We were gonna buy a van, like one of those big white vans. We were gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff to watch people's cars go around, drive. Like they don't even have to come to us. We were gonna go to them, just drive to them and everything. So like I came up with that idea after watching like maybe 1 or 2 videos about networking. And networking didn't really have anything to do with it, but once I started connecting with other people, like my mind basically started opening. Like I need to think deeper than just trying to sell products online. So it really helped in a very positive way, very good positive way.
I love it. And I think
Yeah.
like one of the things also that you said last night, because we actually had a good conversation last night.
Yeah.
But you talked about how before Best Bet, you didn't even know what networking was.
I didn't.
So
I really didn't.
kind of just describe what like your thought process is now around making new connections and being able to meet people.
Well, basically like now through networking, I met Dan, I met Rich, I met the rest of the people. I didn't really get to meet them, but I hope to continue to talk to them. But they're the reason I'm sitting here right now. The reason why I'm even in this program too, because I never knew that they were the ones who gave me the scholarship. I thought you were just giving me the scholarship. So through networking, through meeting people, and just being chosen to even be in the program, that's basically what it got.
Yeah.
Get me farther too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead, Rich.
And
You got
that's
something?
so important. I mean, when you and I talked and really understood when I got to understand what Best Bet is about, obviously, the dealership's values, being community driven, giving back, and trying to make our community better. And what you were doing is starting with the kids and trying to help teach young entrepreneurs and people how to, whether they want to be a car salesman, a business owner, or whatever they want to do, how to go out and do that. Because school's great. Obviously, you have to have the fundamental basics and know how to operate out in the world. But you take it to the next level and try and implement real life, this is how the world works, knowledge, so that people can go out and understand it. Because I do feel like a lot of problems today with how everything's changing, it's too many young people don't even know where to start or how to interact with people. And you've got employers, you've got so many different generations out there. I think I saw today, it's the first time ever in history, there's 5 generations in the workforce all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So you're teaching people how to interact and how to kind of bridge the gaps of communication and like you said, networking. So, and that's huge. What's the saying? It's not what you know, it's who you know. So
Right.
I say that
Right.
a lot too.
Absolutely, 100%. And your network will determine your net worth.
Yes.
And so, is it about just running around trying to just connect with people who have money? No, but it is focusing on making time and being intentional, right? We talk about that word a lot, intentional, to connect with like-minded individuals that are going where you want to go.
Adding value too, what you said.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Being a person of value.
Yeah, being a person.
And Rich, I want to throw it to you for a second, because when the time we sat down and we talked about like Best Bet, where I kind of, and it's funny that conversation was so rough because my son was like running around. I didn't have a babysitter that day, so I had a little kid running around. He's like literally like trying to like
enough babysitters.
right. But you said something. You said as you heard it, you said, "Wow, this is something that." When I was younger, I could see myself, wanting to do this versus the traditional alternative. So tell me a little bit about that thought process.
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, obviously, the path I took, getting into the dealership, but it wasn't always clear that was going to be it. I don't know if you know this. I almost went into acting and video production, so that was a big passion of mine. What I was very fortunate about, where I was lucky, and I had the ability to work with a lot of my teachers. I had a lot of great high school teachers that understood my passion and would let me go down and work in the AV center and do things where they understood that the life skills I was getting there was going to benefit me more than, as long as I passed. They didn't.
Right.
They were like, yeah, you're never going to use the cell mitosis or whatever it is.
Right.
So, and I feel like I was lucky, but not everyone gets that. So what you're offering is an option for these kids to really get that additional experience that is going to benefit them in life.
Yeah. So one of the things that Bre and I, last night we talked about as well, is I asked her, I said, so, people get excited, and a lot of people think networking is just going out and just making that initial meeting, right? But it really is more than that. It's about that next step. It's about, okay, so you meet somebody, and then how do you take it from just, hey, being an acquaintance and someone you just know by face and name to building a relationship? And you talked about a lady that you met recently, and how you started to build a relationship. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Miss D, I met her at the Perkinson Mansion. It was, career day, I believe? Mentor day. College mentor day. But I met her because she was one of my mentors at my table. And I was the only one at that table too, so I could actually have like a one-on-one with her. So we were talking, and she was just telling me about herself and stuff like that. And she was telling me how it's very important to have a mentor, because like Dan is a mentor. So I was thinking like, why not have multiple mentors? Because everyone has a different background. They can all give me different information. So I ended up reaching out to her 2 days after the event, and she actually just came here today and she gave me a gift. So that was real
You're
nice.
getting all the gifts today.
Yeah,
I like that.
She gave me that water bottle right there.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
but I met her, and she's real nice. Like, I really want to know more about her and everything. Like, that was a real nice gift too.
And so like now, being able to see like this is how life works.
Yeah.
Like this is how things happen. Like it's really awesome. So far, I've helped, I want to say three young people from Best Bet, like directly help them get jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And not one of those three has had to actually fill out a resume.
Oh, wow.
Or turn in a resume because they went on relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like understanding that is how the world works, and being in a position where, I talk about it in sports, right? So my friend Steve he's in the background, he's helping with some film and stuff today. But growing up, we watched other players in basketball who weren't as talented as us get to play more than us because of relationships that people had with coaches and so when I teach, I say, I'm not gonna lie, like I'd rather be the guy playing because I knew somebody than the guy that's better on the bench because I didn't know somebody. Right. Like, now that I'm older and more mature, like I understand that. And so for you to be able to like have that mentality now, like the advantage is incredible because, as we talked about last night, everybody wants to help young people.
Yeah.
And so being able to move and function like this now versus when most people start to function like this, which is in their late 20s, early 30s, the advantage that you have is outrageous.
Yeah.
Well, and what I think I see the most of, and it seems like you're teaching, seize the moment. I think a lot of people get caught up waiting for things to fall into their lap, waiting for things to happen to them instead of going out and making it happen. And I think the reality is, especially nowadays, a lot more people get opportunities and miss them than I think realize. A lot of people are too busy not realizing what's right there. So I think what you're going to do with this, you've got an opportunity, you've been looking on YouTube, you're networking, you're doing it right. You're going to have opportunities and you'll be equipped to seize them, which is good.
Absolutely,
'Cause
100%.
Before I would just sit there and just wait for opportunities to get to me, then I started getting up. Yeah. Them videos didn't really help either. I just started to have to research and everything, but it's going good so far.
Whatever path you take, as long as you're proactive and when you see an opportunity, you take it.
100%. But I think that's it. We just wanted to sit down, and today is more than what's on camera. So the purpose of today is not just to make content, but it's also to connect Bre with Rich, to connect Bre with Rhonda, because now, and the thing I've been preaching to her is, you're going to get to have these people in your network. You're going to get to be able to build relationships. Go ahead.
You want to talk about taking an opportunity? So you were saying, Rhonda, director of marketing, a fairly big organization to be in charge of the marketing of. So you want to hear the story about taking an opportunity is, I posted the job opening on Facebook. I was just, hey, I'm looking for somebody. Rhonda and I at this point were acquaintances. We weren't friends yet. We had mutual friends, but we just knew of each other. She saw the post. 10 o'clock at night, she calls me. I'm interested in this position. I go, okay, well, we can talk about it Monday. It was the weekend. She goes, okay, so anyway, the reasons I'm right for this position, and basically
like
Monday didn't even happen. She had the job that night. So she took the opportunity. She had me. She had my ear. She had me on the phone. She did not let go. She got the job, and now here it is almost done.
Right.
And then to be continued. Where is she now?
You didn't beat the clock.
No, so that I always think of her. That's an example of, she saw the post. She didn't email. She knew my number, so she made the call. She was aggressive and got it. And I always think about that, seizing the moment.
Absolutely. So. And even Rhonda, you told me the story about Juan. So when he was working as a lot attendant, I guess Juan had to take her somewhere. And she gets in the car, and Juan's like, I know you're tight with Rich. I can sell cars. And I was like, yo. She was like, I was about to hire him in marketing.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for somebody, and they were like, nah, we're taking him to sales.
Yeah.
And so, but that's what it's about. It's about creating your opportunities and having this skill set And I know you're continuing to make your way through the course, but I tell people this skill set is very similar to compound interest, right? The power of it is the time that you have vested. So the sooner that you start to build this type of skill set, the more valuable and the more powerful it becomes, just like compounding interest. Because if you start compound interest now and you invest in an IRA for the next 5 years, if I do it now and I can invest double the money and I do it longer, you will still have more money than me at 65 because of the money was compounding longer.
Yeah, because I'm younger.
You're younger, and it's build that network.
Yeah.
Everything. That's the thing. Almost everyone at some point gets that 5-minute opportunity, and it's you got someone's ear, you got that moment. Do you take it? And for you and for anybody watching this, take your shot. Take that opportunity. Don't let it go by. I think that's my best advice.
Nah, I love it.
And be prepared for it when it happens. Don't just be like, oh, I don't know what I have to say.
Right, absolutely.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Right. Les Brown said it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than have opportunity and not be prepared.
That's right.
And like when he said that, I heard him say that like 5 years ago, and I was like, yo, like that they say in hip hop, that's a bar. That's a bar right there. But thank you guys for watching the show. We're really excited, and Rich, thank you for partnering. To do something for the community. And Bre, I'm excited. And at the end of the day, I think what's incredible, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this. As much as Rich and I, we had our part to play in this. If you don't show up to the table with work ethic, if you don't show up to the table and keep your word and be who you said you were when I interviewed you in terms of, hey, I'm into this, I'm the right fit, I'll come to the table, I'll work, I'll show up, then none of this happens. And I think
to be continued.
right. I think that is really what makes Best Bet special. And that's what makes the magic, is the fact that it's not that I'm so great. It's the fact that it's a young person that's willing to say, all right, I'm going to take this information, I'm going to leverage it, I'm going to use it, I'm going to tap into the coaching, I'm going to tap into the relationships and build and take advantage for everything that it is. So shout out to you.
You worked hard and got your name on the list. Dan's going to give you the tools. You got to build whatever you want to build.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for watching the show. I appreciate you guys. You guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at BestBetDan. Make sure to visit Ide Family of Dealerships if you're in Rochester and you need a car. And be on the lookout for Bre White, because she's going to be doing some amazing things. Not even shortly, like now. Like she's getting it done. So thank you guys for watching the show, and we're out. Peace.